Good evening traders, it's Simon at Kairos Capital Markets with the weekly review of Aussie dollar, pound yen and euro dollar. So last week we was in a dilemma of saying we don't want to buy or sell the dollar. We didn't feel that it would move that far or move at all. And as you can see over the last 5 days or so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it didn't really move whatsoever. And obviously looking at the weekly perspective, you can see it's just a little doji there as well. So looking at the weekly chart, you could say a move up is quite probable. I don't blame you for thinking that. Even the daily chart as well, you could say the same thing. We know the monthly chart is saying something slightly different. Now on this chart here at the moment, the DXY 95.5 has been a key daily level in the past here. So especially this recent pattern has been quite strong. And zoom out as well, couple of touches there. It's got a bit of chop through here as well, but as you can see, 95.5, this black line here has acted as support and resistance quite a lot in the past, especially since 2015. So that is my premise for saying I don't like that. I'm worried, I'll be concerned about it. And when you look at the DXY on the lower time frames, especially the 4-hour chart, now I did say to you, if it doesn't break this high here last week, I wouldn't turn bullish yet, and as you can see, it has actually put the inverse head and shoulder pattern, which we did speak about as well. So that's one thing. It does look good here. So buying here could have been quite good, although it is NFP day, so I would never advise that whatsoever. Obviously, different people's strategies play different things, but you could say the inverse head and shoulder pattern, which we highlighted last week, has actually been created here. And just there for you there, guys. There you go. So again, I'm only going to be bullish on this chart once it breaks this neckline. It has to break the neckline for me to turn bullish. If it does turn bullish, it has broken 95.5, and that means a move up to at least this higher here of 96 and a half, 97 almost would be key. I'll extend that line now, Will. So that's if it turns bullish. What I'll do. I still think it can turn bearish, but I'm just sitting on my hands because you have to understand you trade a high risk. It's not the path of least resistance. If the chart does this though, does like that on the 4-hour chart, for example, come down and test 95.5 where it takes the neckline, then yes, I would definitely say that would be happening next. But for that move up to happen, this first little wave has to happen there first of all. So sit in your hands for the dollar at the moment. So how does that transpire to other pairs? So on the Aussie dollar, I'm still amazed how this is breaking down all the time. You can definitely see how the key areas here, you've got a wave down, come up, come down, consolidate, pop up, come down, consolidate, break down, in a little zone here, break down again. So it's breaking down all the way. I wouldn't want to, like I said, I don't want to buy this pair at all at the moment. It's really, really weak. Although we can outline 0.70 was a key level on the monthly perspective, so it's there. Bit of pattern there, so and we've broken this key level here. We have with moderate volume there, so it's broke down nicely. So I'm expecting to pull back up to 717, and on the lower time frame to test that. To give you some idea, let's just pop down to the 4-hour chart. What do we have? We've got a 72 there at the moment, 72 here at the moment. So there we go. Bring down to 72. That's nice. Test there, bit of consolidation there, pull back up there, test the 4-hour 50, it'd be quite nice to see that. And we can zoom out to 72 as well, and you can see in the past it has reacted there in the past as well. So 72 on Aussie dollar would actually be a good, I say a good sell. I mean, for me, I don't want to sell the bottom of a trend, that's me, but if you was looking for value in the short-term trade area, that would be my area here, 72 here, looking at the 4-hour chart. So looking at euro dollar now. So euro dollar last week didn't really move anywhere at all. Didn't do anything. Very similar story because of the actual dollar itself. I know it broke down like this on Friday, but that's not really convincing volume there, to be quite honest. I don't particularly think it's the greatest bearish move in the world. And bear in mind, you are now testing this area where we've been at before several times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it's rejected this area. It's broke through once, but it's actually 6 times been rejecting. So I'll be very careful about taking this trade. Again, long and short, that it's not good enough for either at the moment. Again, you want to sit on your hands, wait for the structure of the market to develop for you. Because in all fairness, although you've got this downward sloping trend on the 4-hour chart being beautiful, this is a fake out, come back in again. I can show you a head and shoulder pattern on the right here, and I'll show you overall an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So you've got 2 patterns in amongst each other. So here's the head and shoulder pattern, which everyone's talking about to go short. That's your short pattern there. Obviously, you've got to break this zone though. If you don't break the zone, it's going to foul. So that's what my concern is there. But we could zoom out here as well now, and we can definitely say you can do all sorts of patterns here. This is the problem with this chart. So you've got a pattern like here. There's your little left shoulder. There's your head. There's your right shoulder, and it's moved back up again. And you can say it hasn't broken the right shoulder here, hasn't put any lower lows in, so it's not bearish, it's bullish. So there's loads of ways of saying it's bullish and bearish. To be quite honest, to understand, a break and retest of this trend line, like this, like that, and come down like this to there will be perfect. You break the high there, you break the trend line, you got a higher low, higher high, then you got another higher low. Taking a trade like that there will be a good probability trade to take long, definitely. If you was to take it short, again, it's got to be something like this. It's got to come down, it then have to come back up somewhere in this zone here, around there. Take your trade there. Maybe I'll take the trade, and I'll be taking it short to like there or something, there, or maybe the next level down. But either way though, that's what I'm looking for. I'm waiting for this. I'm not going to jump in the trade now. There's no point. There's too much risk there. You don't know where the market's going to go, so just sit in your hands. Pound yen. So pound yen last week, we said it broke the daily 50 MA. We were looking for short to the downside. My short buy still kind of remains there at the moment, although it's messy now. It's not the greatest in the world. The 4-hour chart, also the 1-hour chart actually did break down, but you got an inside bar here as well. You've got a mini high test, then an inside bar. So the weekly is looking bearish to move back down to the 140 area. That wouldn't sort of give me a surprise. When looking at the lower time frame, let's look very quickly for you. It's a bit choppy there. That's not really good trading scenario there. You can say it's stuck. It's got some lows here. It's been stuck around 142.7, 142.6 area. You can definitely say there's a downward sloping trend line there for that. You'll see it more likely on the 1-hour chart. Just copy that over for you guys. So you can definitely see there's a pattern forming. I don't think it's the most greatest trade in the world now, to be quite honest. I think there's a lot of mess there. Lot of confusion. Doesn't know where it wants to go just yet, so I'm not interested in pound yen for this week at all. Okay guys, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.